134. Welcome back to Doug Pagitt Radio. Now, this is normally the segment where if you've been a regular listener over the last few weeks, you're like, this is second hour of Doug Pagitt Radio. I'm gearing up. I'm ready for natural health coach Shelley Pagitt.
Yeah, bring her on.
Now, I know there are people who listen to the podcast, and sometimes they'll skip the first hour and they go with hour 2 first. So what they've decided to do is to, have their dessert before they have the rest of their meal. They've decided to put one foot in front of the other. And they're starting with the second hour and not the first hour. I know that happens for people. Because they tell me that happens, and then they send little notes like, "Boy, I sure
threw them a curveball, didn't we?"
Yeah. So now I know that they're queued up, and they've fast forwarded, in the podcast, which you can get over at DougPagittRadio.com if you want to take the show with you. And now they're saying, "Where's natural health coach Shelley Pagitt?" To which I'm saying, first hour.
Yeah.
She's in the first hour now.
Yeah.
So if you listen live, she's at 1:30. If you're listening on the podcast, I don't care what time you listen to it. It's in the first hour. So you're not going to get Shelley Pagitt this second hour. You're not going to get her in this segment. We're changing things. We have updated.
Yes.
We have gone with a high definition version.
Moving forward.
And by the way, those of you who watch the show online, you go to DougPagittRadio.com, you click on the live link, and you like to watch the live video cam, the multiple video cameras that are in the room. You like to see the guests that are on the radio interviews. You like to see the facial expressions of the host, sidekick, and the fill-in. Yeah. You want to feel like you're in the room with us. And you go to DougPagittRadio.com and click on the live link. We think we figured out why the video kept crashing over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
What was that? Tell them.
Well, we tried to set the setting for HD TV so that it
high definition,
and for whatever reason it was just wonky, and put it back to standard definition, and it's smooth sailing. Ustream's up and running.
For whatever reason, low grade programming won't broadcast in high definition.
That's. Go figure.
It didn't fit.
Right, exactly.
Just didn't work right. So we've got that working. We've got that fit. And here in this second hour now, at this slot, every week of the month there will be a different segment. It's going to be a rotating segment. The rabbi is going to be on in this segment.
Awesome.
Joseph Edelheit. We're talking with some Muslim friends about having them on to talk to us about Islam so that there can be sort of a learning about what's going on in Islam. There's going to be some more pointed conversations around Christianity. And then there is a segment that we're introducing today.
Yes.
That I call the truth segment. Now, here's the deal. Mostly on this radio show, I don't get all preachy stuff. I mean, when sometimes there are weeks where all I get is the cripes come on, you got to be kidding me in the right on. Like it's just chewed up by everybody else. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm running public radio over here. It's like everybody else's place to come say what they have to say. So
doing your best to hold together the fabric of democracy.
I'm holding together the fabric of democracy here. If it wasn't for this radio program, I don't know we'd have democracy. What's it going to be? Egypt?
Yeah.
Well, we want to create a place for a little truth telling, a little truth making.
Yes.
A little proclamation.
Let's do it.
So but here's the deal. So I was thinking about this week, and I was thinking about a concept of this segment. Mm-hmm. And of course, what came to my mind as somebody who's in their early 40s was that television or that movie experience of watching A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
And if you know the movie, Colonel Jessup is being questioned on court on the stand by Danny.
Yeah.
Can't remember what his last name is. But there's a court scene, and it's all coming up to this place where this Jessup has done something wrong, and they get into this shouting back and forth, and it's one of the great movie lines of all time. And you ready? It goes like this.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
So there's that's in my head, right? I'm like, I should do a little truth-telling segment, and then I'm like, you can't handle the truth, right? I mean, it's been used all these places. I'm like, it's just perfect for this, and here's why. Because anytime someone does what I want to do in this segment, and that is kind of ratchet it up and be a whole truth-teller, the honest answer is nobody can handle the truth. Nobody's just telling the truth. Everybody's spinning one way or the other.
Yeah.
So even at the point where we're going to lay it out and I'm going to tell you this is how it is, I'm putting it down, truth told, I can't handle the truth.
A little spin on there.
Nobody can handle the truth as it is. So I'm gonna give a little. I'll give a little space. But so if you don't understand this segment, if you don't understand that when we introduce it with this, you can't handle the truth little intro. Know that what I'm doing is acknowledging that I really think this is how it is.
Yeah.
This is the way that I truly believe it is. And if everyone in the world understood things the way I would, this would be truth without objection.
Sure.
The problem is not everybody's like I am.
No.
I'm doing what I can. I mean, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm helping people along. I'm trying to reproduce myself in the ears of people all over the place.
Sure.
So I want to acknowledge the fact that okay, I'm going to give it to you. Truth, according to me.
Yeah.
The gospel, according to Doug Pagitt Radio.
Okay.
So we're going to lay out. Now, there's a second bit to that. Is that still paused right where it was there? There's a second bit to that, which came as a real pleasant surprise, and it sounds like this.
Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know, that Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives, and my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
You want me on that wall. That was our bit from before. That was our right on. You want me on that wall, and you need me on that wall because we save lives.
That's right.
And here's the deal. So this is what I was hearing this week. While I'm driving around in my luxury vehicle that doesn't have AM reception and I can't play my iPod in because it was a luxury vehicle in 1995. Right. I had to listen to other things on the radio.
Sure.
And sometimes the music variety is not to my taste. Mm-hmm. So I try to listen to my Democracy Fabric Holder Together radio station.
Right.
NPR. And they're just begging for money the whole time, and I can't stand it.
Yeah.
So then what do? Like a teenager who's lashing out at his dad.
What do you do?
I put on 100.3.
Oh,
The Patriot.
wow.
Fox Radio.
The dark side.
Yeah, so I thought I'd do a little recon. I'd do a little listening. I'd see how the other guys do it. I listen to the to the gentlemen that are on those radio programs over there. So I listened to a little Glenn Beck, and I listened to a little Sean Hannity, and I listened to a little Rush Limbaugh.
Wow.
It was a tough week.
Yeah.
Tough week. And then, as it turns out, I ended up listening to some other people on some Christian radio programs.
Okay.
That I picked up through the internet, and they were saying some. They were talking about this radio program. They were pulling out excerpts of our radio program, and they were talking about it. They were saying nasty things about us.
Really?
Yeah, and it sort of dawned on me that the approach to all of those radio stations, the approach to all that, and I'm not trying to be the NPR that's trying to attack the rest of the industry, but the approach that they've taken is this Colonel Jessup approach.
Yes.
The Colonel Jessup approach in the fact that they believe or they present themselves as if what they're saying saves lives. Yeah. And it's so important and it's so crucial and it so matters that there's no way that any other opinion could be expressed.
Yeah.
It is just... They are truth tellers because there's nothing else they can do. Mm-hmm. And I kind of thought, is that what it takes? This is what got me. Is that how you have to do it? Do you have to sort of lock yourself off and just sort of scream in a tunnel?
Yeah.
In order to I don't know. Maybe that's better. Maybe it's just a shtick. Maybe it's just their radio thing. Mm-hmm. Like maybe those guys aren't actually as hard nosed and as one way thinking as I'm sort of picking up. And maybe me, your humble, open-handed, postmodern truth-pursuing radio host is actually far more dogmatic than someone knows. Maybe these are both shticks. Right?
Huh.
Maybe we're both running a little fast with it here. Huh? You ever think about that?
Yeah, maybe.
Think about that? Well, I do. I think about that all the time. But I do think it's true of them. I just don't think it's true of me.
Right, of course.
I don't think I'm actually... But here's the deal. Here's what I concluded after a week of that stuff. A week of listening to that. And that is, if someone's full of anger, if someone's full of vitriol, if someone's full of sarcasm that's not funny but is meant to be biting, if someone scoffs, I don't think they're doing the work of God.
Yeah.
I just got to tell you, I just don't think so. Now, I think that there's a disagreement about humor, and sometimes I think people are being funny, and that's fair. If someone's just trying to be funny about something, they could say, I wasn't actually trying to be mean.
Yeah.
I was actually trying to provide a little levity.
Sure.
But if somebody, and this is, as a Bible guy, I'm sure you could pull this up. The beginning of the book of Psalms starts with this little encouragement.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? Do you know how the book of Psalms starts?
Yeah, it says something about don't sit in the seat of mockers.
Blessed is the one who doesn't sit in the seat of the mockers.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought about that, and here's my truth telling for today. God's up to a lot in this world. God does a lot that we don't know about, and frankly, many of us wouldn't approve of. Right?
Right.
Like if we look at the way we would want the world to be, and then what it seems like God's doing in this world, there's a lot of things that we're like, oh, come on. I don't want the rain falling on the just and the unjust alike. I don't want the love of God being big like a Guatemalan bus where there's always room for one more. I don't want to always be proclaiming that God is for all of us and never against any. I don't want to be proclaiming any of that stuff. Some people say, God's up to all these things. But when we sit in the seat of mockers and we're mocking another person, and we're dogging another one, and we're talking, it's quite possible that what we're actually lashing out against is the very agenda of God in the world.
Wow.
What if that's what we're doing? What if blessed or on the side of God is the one who does not sit in the seat of the mocker, nor dwell in the tent of the wicked, nor stand amongst those full of aggression?
Yeah.
Now I'm not temperament-wise, personality-wise. I'm not a huggy, sweet, sort of run in the fields kind of guy.
Oh, you're not.
I'm not suggesting that. All I'm saying is you can really hear when there's just mockery and vitriol and anger. And it's not just coming from conservative radio.
No.
It comes on all sides of it. It comes all over the place. So truth-telling today.
Yeah.
Can you handle the truth?
Can you handle it?
Can you handle the truth? Because I'm going to tell it to you right now.
I don't know.
That stuff's not what it's about.
Yeah.
That stuff tends to come out of weakness. I have a friend who put it this way this week, and this is how we're going to end it. There's a difference between expressing yourself and proving yourself.
Yeah.
May we always be those who express ourselves without the need to feel like we have to prove ourselves. And
Good
sometimes all that other stuff is what we have to do when you just feel like you got to prove yourself.
Yeah.
Truth-telling. Don't listen to anybody who says anything different because they're lying to you. Your little afternoon delight, Doug Badger Radio, your harmonic resonance for what God's up to and what's going on in you. Hey, we're going to be back here with the Right On. And it's probably a no-brainer who the Right On goes out to this week.
Yeah.
So you probably already know.
No, I
Not
don't.
even going to tell you.
Oh,
Not even going to tell you because you probably already know.
Okay.
Mr. Slim Jim. Hey, we're going to be back here, Doug Badger Radio, after the break.
It's often said all politics are local. Well, the same holds true